everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome back to yet another review. Now today I'm going to be doing a first. It's the first time I've actually properly reviewed a proper American locomotive model. Of course I understand that a lot of you guys and girls out there that watch my stuff, you are American, you are from America, and from you guys I always get comments saying, are you going to review an American locomotive soon? So I have listened, I have done my best, and I bought this. This is a Berkshire locomotive, 284 from the Pere Marquette Railroad. And I thought this would be a nice one to start with, so yeah, I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. And of course I would love to do some more American locomotives if this goes down well. Now, a little disclaimer first. Obviously my knowledge on British railways and the locomotives here is okay, you know, I get by, it isn't fantastic. But of course my knowledge on American railroads and such is very, very bad indeed. Now I have done a bit of research on the Berkshires of course, so I should be able to give you a few facts, but if I do ever say something that isn't quite right, or if I've got the wrong end of the stick, please don't be offended or anything like that, but do let me know in the comments, because of course I would like to try and learn, if possible, a bit more about American railroads. So anyway, yep, this is a Berkshire, as you can see, and on the end of the box I will show you very quickly. It just says item number 50902, HO284 Berkshire Steam Loco with tender, DCC, Pere Marquette number 1218. And of course that is what this one is. Okay, without any further ado then, let's get this one out straight away. So yes, and it's the Bachmann one of course. And I do like Bachmann, obviously I do know a little bit about Bachmann because they make some British models too. Okay, I'll show you some of this paperwork first then. And there's quite a lot of it, so I will be quick. This one is the operation guide, I suppose, and inside you actually have this fantastically illustrated diagram. It shows you how everything comes apart, literally everything, even the smoke box door, look, incredible. So yeah, that is useful if you ever want to take it apart. And on the back, whoa, it's gone, it's escaped. And on the back you have a little bit about the tender as well, so that's useful. What are these other ones? I think they're just some adverts. This is a little bit about TV suppression. Yeah, don't need that. And what's this one? I think this is the warranty. Yeah, it's the warranty. So there we go, that's what that is. Obviously nobody's really interested in that, so let's get this out then, the Berkshire. Just take the sleeve off. And if I stand it up, you can see on top what appears to be a detail pack, although I don't think it is. I think this is actually just a pair of blanking plates, so if you want to take the DCC decoder out and just run it on DC, you just have to pop those in and they will allow you to do that. But I'm quite happy to run this on DCC, so I can leave those well alone. Okay, let's get this out then and see what it's like. The Pere Marquette Berkshire. Very excited actually. As I say, it is definitely the largest locomotive I have ever reviewed or looked at, and it's HO, so in fact the scale is smaller than 00, and yet it dwarfs them basically, the 00 models. Okay, let's have a look at the tender first then, and obviously it does have these plugs on them, which you do need to plug in, but there it is. It's an articulated tender of course, with 6 wheels on each bogie, making it 12 wheels in total, and yes, it is very, very large. I'll never get over the size of this thing. So there it is, the tender for the Berkshire, and I'll put that on in just a second. But let's have a look at the locomotive, and it is a truly impressive piece of work. It really, really is. Just look at that. It is completely unlike any of the British models. It really, really is. Its detail is just far, far superior, in my opinion, to some of the British ones. Yeah, fantastic. So I'll try and hold the tender with the loco at the same time. I will connect them together off camera though, because it is a trifle fiddly to say the very least. But there it is, the Pere Marquette Berkshire, and I'm going to review her in some more detail in just a second. But first of all, here is a little bit of history on the type. Okay, let's do it. So this particular model is based on a Berkshire owned by the Pere Marquette Railroad, and just for the British viewers, because I thought this as well, it does sound like a French railway or something like that, but it was actually based in the USA, in the state of Michigan, I believe. The Berkshire was produced by the Lima Locomotive Works and first introduced in 1925. They then became sort of the major 284 type of steam locomotive, and several of the US railroads owned some. A Berkshire was used as the basis for the Polar Express, number 1225 specifically, because its number represented the date of Christmas Day, on the 25th of December of course. And around 20 Berkshires can still be seen in preservation today, and several of them still run. And there she is then, number 1218, looking absolutely stunning against the white background. Now, a lot of English and British people have got a lot to say about Americans and, everything has to be huge, everything has to be big. And I personally don't see what's wrong with that. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it properly. But they weren't wrong, were they? Especially with this Berkshire. I mean, look at this size of this. It is absolutely magnificent. Yeah, it is definitely the largest model I have ever had to review, and it's even difficult to get it into the shot. It's so big. But anyway, let's have a look at the detail on this marvellous machine. Obviously, a lot of the detail is plastic, I must say, to start with, and a few days ago I grilled the Hornby S15 for being mostly plastic. But I must admit that this locomotive, despite being about 3 times the size, it was much cheaper than the S15. So I don't mind that there is a lot of plastic detailing on this, and goodness knows, it really doesn't suffer from it. So let's have a look at the locomotive there. Most of it is in this black livery, or paint scheme, whatever you want to call it, except the smoke box around the front, if it's even still called the smoke box in America. I hope it is. It's done in that sort of more grey colour, and just in front of the cab here you have this highly detailed area of rivets and pipework, which is also into the grey. Another very striking feature on the paintwork is of course this massive lovely white stripe which goes along the running board there, and that is carried on the wheels as well. As you can see, they have the white lining around them, and I think that looks absolutely superb. There's a lot of printed detail on here, the most obvious being the running number on the side of the cab there, and it is very nicely applied, as you can see, as you'd expect as well from Bachmann. You have the Pere Marquette lettering there, around halfway across the border I would say, and then you also have the builder's plate, if you'd call it that, from the Lima Locomotive Works, so that is very interesting as well. And as you can see, the smoke box door, for want of a better word, has a lot of detailing on there as well. Now, this loco has so many separately fitted parts, it is absolutely unbelievable. Especially around the cowcatcher area, you can see there's pipe work, handrails, absolutely all sorts there. And of course the smoke box door too. A very well detailed area with a lamp there, which does work, and you'll see that later. And look, there's even a bell. How awesome is that? And it moves. British locos don't really have bells, they just rely on the whistles, but yes, this even has an articulated bell. Look at that, that is crazy. As you can see, the whole model is really well moulded. I mean, look, just on the side of the cab, you've got the riveting there, pipework in front of it, all this detail on the roof. You've got glazed windows around the cab, as you'd probably expect, and separately painted safety valves, I assume they are. You've got the whistle there, which is, it might be separately fitted, but it's certainly a different colour to the rest of it. And then you do have the metal handrails as well, which go along there, which is fantastic. I suppose I ought to show you inside the cab, and sadly it doesn't have any paintwork inside there, but it is a very enclosed cab, and you really can't see it while the engine's running. So yeah, if it knocks us 10-20 quid off the price, I'm all for leaving that out, as long as you can't really see it. So obviously I could probably talk for twice as long on the detail of the locomotive, but I don't want to bore you all into a stupor. So let's have a look at the tender, and obviously the tender is just about the size of the locomotive, which for an English person is unusual, because tenders tend to be much smaller than the locomotives. But no, not this one, it is very large, and obviously those massive American railroads probably needed those larger tenders, didn't they, to carry all the coal and water for those long distance journeys. So yeah, again, similarly detailed. It has a fantastic amount of riveting on the side there, and of course the Pere Marquette logo slash printing there is very nicely done. The coal load is very large and very well detailed. It is shiny, as most Bachmann coal is, but I do quite like that. You know, I think it's quite a stylistic thing, isn't it? You've got the separately fitted metal handrails, and on the back, I believe, is that ladder moulded on? Yeah, I think the ladder is moulded on. But again, more printing around the back, and yet another lamp, which goes on the back. So yeah, the detail is just absolutely incredible. I don't know why it seems that it's got so much detail. Perhaps the fact that it's HO means that everything is scaled down and it looks a lot more finely detailed. I don't really know what it is, but they seem to have gone to town. Now, I forgot to mention, the one thing that really impressed me is when I first saw it, I was asking myself, how on earth are the driving wheels powered? Look, you can see right through to the back. So where on earth are the gears? Well, I believe they're in this little column here, but again, just that is fantastic design, isn't it, to get that squeezed into such a small area. It's a terribly impressive model, it really is. Anyway, I will stop rambling on and I will get her tested on the layout for you, so let's give her a try. Okay, so there she is then, the Berkshire, ready to run. Now I have to apologise, I don't really have an awful lot of suitable American rolling stock, so if you just imagine that these are American locomotives, maybe visiting a British railway and using British railway stock, then that would be good. Nonetheless, this Berkshire is about to couple up to these boxcars. I know you have boxcars over in America, so that isn't too bad, I suppose. And then on the outer line there is this massive American locomotive, which I hope to look at soon as well. I just call this the Daylight locomotive from the Southern Pacific Railroad, and she has some Great Western coaches because I thought the colour scheme sort of matched. And then on the final line, on the inner line, I have the Triang Transcontinental Pacific, number 1542, and she has some of the Lima HO coaches, which, while they're in British liveries, they are sort of American style. So nonetheless, I thought that would be okay. Anyway, time to get the Pere Marquette loco tested then. I'm just going to give her a little bit of a shunting speed. There she goes. As you can see, that is a very, very good slow speed crawl there. She seems to be very good at that, and look at all that lovely linkage and valve gear going round. It's just brilliant. Okay, let's reverse it. Yep. It is very good, as you can see. Now, one thing I will demonstrate is that this motor doesn't have an awful lot of power for some reason. So if I just hold the tender and speed her up slightly, you can see there isn't any power there whatsoever. And I don't really like doing that because it's... Hold it again, look. It just stops her in her tracks. Because obviously it isn't good for the motor to do that. So you do often have to give it quite a bit of power to get it to pull something. Anyway, let's get her coupled up then. Yep, you can carry on going backwards actually. Oops, that was going to be a bit rough. Anyway, let me just bring her into shot because I will show you her light. If I just switch it on, there we go, you can see it glowing there very nicely. So again, that is a very nice touch for quite a budget locomotive. Anyway, let's start her off then and see if she can haul these wagons away. And of course I'm going to have to give her quite a bit of power so that she can actually move with those. But there she goes, and there go the boxcars. And now then, if I just alter the camera very slightly, let's get this other Bachmann locomotive running, the Daylight Pacific. Let's see how she does. There we go, lovely smooth start. And finally then, the Triang Transcontinental Pacific. There we go. Okay folks, enjoy a quick running day with some transcontinental locomotives. There's that Daylight Pacific, well, Southern Pacific Daylight locomotive I should say. It's a very nice runner that one is, and when I review her I will show you her smoke because she does have a smoke generator, which is very interesting. And I can hear the Triang Transcontinental coming. There she is. One of my old favourites, that one. And of course the Berkshire. And again, I apologise for not having the right rolling stock. If you guys do have any recommendations on what would look nice with these, I could try and get some. So yes, do let me know if you've got any thoughts on that. Sorry for not having any other locos for you to spot today, but I don't really have any other American locos that I can put out on the layout. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do for this next time, because I like to give you guys something to do. But yeah, hopefully the novelty of seeing such an unusual but fantastic machine as the Berkshire there should be enough to distract you, I hope. I don't know. I'm enjoying it though, that's for sure. There we go, that Daylight loco is definitely the better of the two runners, I would say, from Bachmann. But yeah, the Berkshire is very smooth, it must be said. Very, very good. There's the old faithful Triang Pacific, based on the Flying Scotsman, of course, the chassis. And we've got the two American locos here going in tandem. Near enough anyway. The Berkshire's just pulling ahead there. It's like another great American train race, isn't it? And now for my ratings on the Bachmann Berkshire anyway. First of all, detail 9 out of 10. It's very, very nearly perfect in terms of detail. Of course, most of the detail is plastic, which is a little bit of a shame, but it does bring the price down significantly, which is excellent news. Performance 8 out of 10. She is good and smooth, but she's not all that powerful, which might be an issue for certain railways. Character 9 out of 10. Bachmann seem to have done a fantastic job in capturing the Berkshire, and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. Build quality, again, 9 out of 10. It seems to be fairly sturdily built, so I can't really fault it there. And value for £100 is what I paid for this. You can't go wrong, really, can you? So 9 out of 10, which gives her overall 8.82 out of 10. And if I put her into the ranking for you very quickly, there she is, 5th, just above the Evening Star and below the Hornby L1 tank. And here's a very, very quick shout out to Why Not, because he made a very lovely video for me. So thank you very much, Why Not. And I appreciate that you probably won't like this video as much as others, but oh well, I hope you still see it. Well, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Do let me know, of course, if you would like me to try and do some more American locomotives. Or on the flip side, if you'd rather I just stuck to the British stuff, that is fine as well. I would love to know what you think about that. But if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to leave it a like or even a comment, because I do love it when you all get in touch. And also, of course, if you'd like to, you can feel free to check out the Facebook and Twitter pages if you'd like to, and they are at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. It would be lovely to see you on there, but for now, folks, thank you once again very much for watching. I will just show you the Wall of Fame very quickly. There it is. And if you would like to have your drawings or artwork put up on there, all you have to do is take a photo of them and email them to samstrains@outlook.com, and I will print those off for you, and you might see yourself, or your drawing at least, in one of the videos. But for now, folks, thank you very much for watching once again. Lovely to have your company as always, and I will see you all very soon. Cheers, everybody.